This is the Fender JMJ Road-Worn Mustang, and whew, it is a short scale beauty that just sits so perfectly in a mix and just sounds so full, so radiant, and has a lot of versatility despite it only having one pickup, a volume knob, and a tone knob. But this bass is just, man, it's a lot of fun. So the JMJ signature Road-Worn Mustang bass. Basically, this is Justin Meldal-Johnson's signature Mustang bass. Now, who exactly is Justin Meldal-Johnsen, you ask? I don't know. Have you ever heard of M83, the Mars Volta, Paramore, Nine Inch Nails, Air, and countless other bands? Well, over the years, Justin has performed, written, and produced dozens of bands, a lot of which you guarantee have heard. And man, he is just an absolute killer player and killer producer too. So seeing him get his own signature bass is just super awesome in my opinion. Now, this signature Mustang is specifically designed and spec'd to match that of a 67 Mustang bass. Now, I'm no stranger to short scale basses. I absolutely love them, but man, this one really is something special. I don't know if it's just the playability, the feel, or just the overall vibe that this entire bass gives off, but I absolutely fell in love with it when I started playing with it. Starting with the body, you have Fender's classic Mustang styling, which is just that offset that just looks a little weird, but man, it just holds its own in terms of style in my opinion. You have an alder body in this beautiful faded Daphne blue, and I honestly cannot get over this finish enough. I remember when they first announced this bass, I fell in love with it just because of the color scheme. Faded Daphne blue is such a gorgeous color, and it really pops to me too. Especially because it doesn't have a really glossy finish at all. It's much more of a matte finish. That's because this is a road-worn bass. And I know a lot of people don't really care for road-worn basses because, oh, it's something that should be earned throughout the years. But I like road-worn basses. I like the idea of it. And of course, you can always keep, scratching it up and scuffing it up yourself too. Nothing's gonna stop you from doing that. I just think it's really cool that they gave it both that faded Daphne blue color and they added the different road-worn aspects to it. Now, this is a really cool aspect I never really gave thought to when it comes to factory road-worn finished guitars, is that they're all different in their own ways. And I just guess I never really thought about that. But thanks to today's sponsor, Sweetwater, I was really able to see that. Thanks to Sweetwater's guitar gallery, they upload pictures of the exact bass that you're going to choose. Now you can choose between the different serial numbers and really see the difference in the bass. Now for a regular bass, you might not see a big difference besides maybe weight. With regular finishes, they're usually gonna be the same. They might not, of course, be at 100% the same, but when it comes to these road-worn finishes, I realized, wow, there's a really big difference between some of these. Whether it be the markings on the side of it or on the front of it, but you can really see some of the dings are way more articulated in some of the basses compared to other ones. But that's just one of the many cool things about Sweetwater is their guitar gallery and their 55-point inspection that every single guitar over $300 gets out the door, and their incredible customer service as well. Another great product I picked up from Sweetwater as well is the 3rd generation Scarlett 2i2 from Focusrite. So you have the fantastic inputs, the direct monitoring, as well as headphone out too, and it's now all USB-C too. And of course, it's under $200. I absolutely love this preamp. The second generation held me well for years, and now the third generation is going to do the exact same thing. And of course, a big thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. Let's get right back into the specs. And another thing I've never really paid attention to when it comes to road worn instruments is not only is the finish itself road worn, but the actual hardware is too. And I thought this was really cool. That means the knobs, the control plate, the bridge, even the thumb rest have its own little bit of characteristics added to it because of the road worn finish, which I think is really cool. You also have this aged pearloid pickguard that looks fantastic. This one particularly, you could see that it's yellowed a bit, and I just, it just adds that nice little extra bit of character to the overall vibe of the bass. Now, besides the neck, which we're about to get to, I think the pickup might be the next star of this bass, because I was super surprised at how full, yet how versatile this pickup can really sound depending on the mix and your playing style too. It's a custom Seymour Duncan split single coil pickup, and really from looking at it, you wouldn't really think that there's a lot to it. But man, again, I was very surprised at how great and well-rounded this pickup sounds. Now moving up, you have a 30-inch scale maple neck with a 9.5-inch rosewood fretboard radius that is just, oh, I love this neck. It's so easy just to run up and down it as quick as possible. It's so flawless and just feels so unique too. It really does feel like an extension of your arm. It's something where I didn't experience any lack or anything that just kept me from being able to just slide and move wherever I wanted to. And because the bass comes with flats already on it, it just feels that much more smooth and coherent. You have medium jumbo frets that just feel super solid. And then going up, you have your synthetic bone nut that keeps in tune great. And then of course the headstock, which just rounds it all off. It's that classic Fender headstock that just looks fantastic. And you have Hipshot Lollipop tuners as well. This might actually be my first time experiencing Lollipop tuners, which I mean, I guess it's just the look of them that's just kind of like off-putting at first, but it just adds to the overall vintage vibe of this bass. And of course, and most importantly, they keep in tune perfectly. So overall, with the Justin Meldal-Johnsen signature Fender Mustang bass, I absolutely love it. Short scales are just so much fun to me already, so having such a great feeling, fantastic playing, and just phenomenally sounding instrument on top of that just makes it even better. I just really love my time with this, and the fact that this is just a little over $1,000 makes it even better. I'm not really used to signature basses at all, but man, this thing really does take the cake. I was very surprised with it. I'm not really used to playing with flats either, but God, you couldn't even really tell they were flats. So if you wanted to play punk, metal, or anything like that, well, maybe not metal, but I would like to see a metal player play a Mustang bass. That'd be rad. It just works really well for all genres, it feels like. But of course, let me know what y'all think about the JMJ signature Mustang bass and what other signature basses I should really take a look at. Thank y'all so much for watching, as always, for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, follow me on social media, all that crazy stuff. I truly do appreciate it, y'all. And a humongous thank you to my Patreon supporters right here. Mwah, mwah. Just look at them. Don't they just look ravishing today? If you want to be like one of these gorgeous people right here and help support the channel every single month, be included in things like early access to videos, giveaways, and more, then go ahead and head on over to my Patreon page. But of course, y'all, thank you again so much for watching. As always, a huge thank you again to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. And of course, no matter where in the world you are, stay safe, practice that bass, and I'll see y'all next time.